John Lennon Story, anti-war crusader with final song, Why He? John Lennon was the one Beatle who never shied away from getting involved in politics. As evidenced by his song, Revolution, he was adamantly against the Vietnam War, but he was also afraid of the violent protesters. He and Yoko staged bed-ins for a week in Amsterdam and Montreal to spread their message of peace. As he sang the famous song, Imagine, he begged people to stop fighting. For a little period, picture a world without any countries. Not a religion, and not something to sacrifice one's life for. Envision a society where amicability prevails. As you most likely know, he wrote the song, Give Peace a Chance. Paul McCartney very sometimes touched on politics in his songs, but it was clear that he had strong opinions. Blackbird, for example, was an allegory about the American civil rights movement. He brought it up because, as everyone is aware, the Beatles' last recording was released today. John Lennon's piano and lyrics served as inspiration. With the assistance of more AI, Now and Then was a cassette recording that John Lennon made a few years prior to his untimely death in 1980. It was very evident on the tape, for Paul. Yoko Ono gave it to McCartney in 1994. After listening to the cassette, the three remaining Beatles produced and released two songs, Real Love and Free as a Bird. Even if the third song was their best, it wasn't good enough. According to reports, George Harrison from the Beatles labeled it, "fuck rubbish." And it stayed unfinished until producer Peter Jackson's technological wizardry at last made it possible to cut out the voices. Now and Then isn't one of John's crazy rock songs, but it does sound a lot like the Beatles. It's a thoughtful gesture even if the music isn't that great. It's fantastic that McCartney, 81 years old, Starr, 83 years old, and other artists are now on tour. Background: working-class Liverpool natives John, Paul, George, and Ringo used to perform in seedy taverns. Before George Martin at Parlophone took a chance on them, all of the major record labels passed on them. The Beatles are the greatest rock band of all time, so many incredible musicians have covered their songs. They now rank among the greatest songwriting teams of all time as a result. They were completely absorbed in the Beatlemania craze. With groundbreaking albums and hits like Abbey Road and Sgt. Pepper's, they grew and changed. John Lennon's anti-war crusader song, Why He Beatles, is still relevant today.